shack. All right, let's get busy. All right, so let's see. Make sure we set up nice and strong. So what we got going on here. All right, we in here. All right, so we're good. We're nice and connected. All right, so tonight we're going to talk about a wide variety of systems that I've been working on for some time now. Let me make sure everything's straight. All right, let me get a thumbs up, tear that Bluetooth off. All right, so you guys can hear me pretty good. This is a rough live. You know, I've done some lives before, so hopefully we can get this thing nice and going. So I guess you guys can see me now. All right, let me see what we got here. Hopefully we won't. Oh, this is embarrassing, but can you guys hear me? All right. All right, here we go. All right, we're here? All right, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. It's a little bit of a lag. All right, so I think you guys can hear me now. All right, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I think you can hear me. It's a little bit of a lag. All right, so we're good. Let me go down to the chat. See what we got in the chat. So good. Alright, so that's good. We don't mute that. Alright, so it took us about 2 minutes to get started. What we're going to look at is some of the things that I've been working on to help me do amateur radio a lot better. This is kind of like an ad-lib type setup. And I'm going to work with you guys to see how I can work this live out. I was going to try to give you guys the best computer screen, but I may just have to flip it and have a lower quality video. But let's see what we got here. We're going to flip it up. Boom. All right, now I can see you guys. Oh, well, I can see a little bit of everything. All right. Live chat. All right. Jim, I see Jim. Matthew, all right, Arizona, all right, so we got a few of you guys in here. So today, what have we been doing? What have we been working with? For some time now, you guys know I like to go outdoors and I like to do soda and I like to do POTA. And over the years, I've been trying to find the perfect portable solution for RF computing. Now, what do you mean by RF computing? When I mention RF computing, I mention being able to do digital modes. As you guys know, I always talk about repetitively WSJTX, Winlink, GSA call, Vira AC, slow scan television. I like to talk about doing those things, but I like to do them out in the field. And as the years have gone by, many of us have come to with the same issues. I think one of the biggest issues is reliability. And whether that reliability be reliability in computing, reliability in hardware, or reliability in being able to sustain the environments that we're working in. So those are a few frustrations that I ran into over my time trying to be the best portable, lightweight, digital mode doing, satellite receiving, Linux running guy out in the field. And so I wanted to share with you guys a few things that I've been working with. And give you some pros and cons and give you some things that I want you guys to kind of avoid, okay? One of the first things that we all started out with was the Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi 4, 3, 4, 5. This has always been a very good and viable solution for ham radio, but for me, it's been proven frustrating and problematic, and I'll tell you why. Right here is the Raspberry Pi 4 with 8 gigs of RAM. I'm running Dragon OS on this particular machine. This machine is probably one of the more durable cyber decks that I attempted to build. This is the touchscreen. I ended up doing some active cooling on here. But a problem that I found with dealing with Linux and doing ham radio was that I could never get the newest version of WSJTX or GSA call without having to compile or having some advanced knowledge of Linux. I will go into the repositories and I would say, okay, let me install WSJTX from the actual app repository, and it would be a nightmare for me. So what I ended up doing was always getting a later version. So let me be very clear on this. If you're not an intermediate to advanced level guy when it comes to Linux and you want to build your own distribution, it can be difficult. With the Raspberry Pi setups, I would always try to install from the repository, and I would get not the most recent model revision of WSJTX or JSA call. And that's important sometimes, especially when you just want to run it natively with the software. In the case of the G90 or the X6100 being in WSJTX, maybe you don't have to run FL rig, like a whole nother layer of software that you would have to, you'd have to do. This is a whole nother layer. So I could never get the most recent versions of the software. Vira AC would never work on Linux. And don't get me wrong. And you guys, please comment, make a lot of comments, because I want to have this interactive. But when I'm running the DigiPi, right? When I'm running the DigiPi, I think it works. I don't have a problem with that. When you're running HamPi, right now I'm running from KM6LYW, very good browser software that you can run your tablet on your radio. But I find so many problems of being told what I can't do and what I can't have, because Linux is that much more difficult to operate. So does Linux work? Yes. I think the first time I ever did digital mode, it was N4JAW. He talked to me on the phone and he told me, look, hook your 891 up to your Raspberry Pi and go open up FL Rig and FL Digi and do PSK31. That night, I might have talked to a dude in Amsterdam till like 3 in the morning. I was addicted. The Raspberry Pi did work. But there were so many cables, there were so many proclivities, and there was a lot going on. But now I want to start doing this stuff on Soda. This will work. DigiPi, it works. HamPi, it works. But when I want to create my own image and start introducing software-defined radio applications to it, USB dongles, start receiving satellite NOAA weather images and stuff like that, it just was too complicated. So then I woke up and I had a dream, and I wanted to have the greatest known cyberdeck known to man, which is the Clockwork Pi. But as you can see, this doesn't work. I may have to re-image it. I might have to do a whole 2 weeks of troubleshooting to get it back up and running. I don't know if I'm having heating problems. I don't know if I don't know what's going on. I'm always doing something with the Clockwork Pi. I'm always fixing it. I'm always working on it. I'm never using it. I think one time I got it to work with WSJTX. I did. However, this hasn't been a solution for me. I took it out on a soda activation maybe 2 weeks ago, and it failed me. It didn't work. So what I find about this Clockwork Pi that's broken for the third time, and I'll do some research. I'll go to GitHub. I'll re-image it. I'll do a whole bunch of different things, but what I found is this is unreliable for doing MCOM, for doing digital modes, for being out in the field. You can't do Aries with this. Yeah, maybe this. Yeah, maybe this, but definitely not this. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm not an expert. I fixed this thing several different times through software, through images and whatnot, but it isn't working. I can't do ham radio on it. Now, in the case of my Microsoft Surface Go, because we're going to start talking about Windows, the next mistake that I made was getting this beast from AliExpress. This is like a N100. I think it says SZ box, and as you can see, it's not really powering on. But this was my next dream machine. It has 3 USB ports. One on the side, HDMI, USB-C, 1 terabyte of RAM. 1 terabyte of space, because I was going to run VM machines on this thing, Ethernet port. But as you can see, it's from AliExpress. I got duped. I got beat on this one. It sucks. It doesn't even work. It isn't even turning on. Maybe if I hold it for 10 seconds. This was my dream machine, the second dream machine of all of the RF computing systems that I was trying to deploy to do MCOM, to have fun. Because let me state for the record, my overall goal is to do Gold 16 with decode images from Gold 16 weather satellites, geosynchronous satellites, track, decode, and receive NOAA weather satellites, NOAA 18, 19, and 17. My other goal is to do all digital modes, amateur radio, and my idea was to put all of this on a machine like this. Well, guess what? The keypad doesn't even work. I got to find a driver for it. Once again, AliExpress, this isn't indicative of my experiences with the Windows 10 and ham radio. My experiences with my GTAC have been pristine. I got my GTAC from eBay for about $250 or maybe $189. I ended up adding a battery to it, and the total cost was about $250 something. And my GTAC was flawless. I could throw it in the bushes. I can go in the mountain. I could throw it in the snow. It was just a used tablet that I got from a guy on eBay. And you know what? The GTAC never failed me, not once. So that's what got me into thinking. This was the dream machine, 7-inch Windows 11 machine, but it was from AliExpress, and it was a box of hot garbage. Because as you can see, it's 2 weeks old, and I can't even use the touchpad. The kickstand had me going. The USB ports had me going. I had all types of antennas plugged in the top of it. I had, Alpha networks. I had a GPS dongle. I had the RTL SDR. Man, it was a thing of beauty, but it was crap because as soon as it get hot, as it gets hot, it was shut down. So then this, and my broken Surface Go just brought me to the reality of the Panasonic FZM-M, the FZM-1. And why? Why do I like the FZM-1? Because it does everything. Right now, I'm wirelessly connected to my computer and I'm running Winlink. Let me. Somebody send me a Winlink, K4KHO at winlink.org. I found an RMS station, so I'm wirelessly connected to my 705 with the ICOM software. Best decision I ever made, and if it is the most superior way to do digital modes, is with that software. Let me see if I'm still connected here. Make sure, because I've been away for a little bit. All right, let me connect back to the IC705. Everything is done wirelessly right here. I love it. Let me minimize. Okay, let me go back. So I use the Icon remote utility to connect to my IC705, and I love it. It's by far. Let me get the radio back up. Let's see what she's at. Okay, boom, boom. She's powered up. Excuse me 1 second, because I was doing Winlink before we got started. Serverless, there we go. Hit that server, connect. All right, I'm back connected to the IC705. Boom. So the Icon remote utility is by far the best decision that I've made, next to purchasing the Winlink, supporting that endeavor. So that's it. But we're going to talk. This is it. 7-inch tablet. I got my RTL SDR right here, my GPS for all of my time, and I have my Alpha Networks Wi-Fi adapter for some things inside the Linux space that I want to do, but I want to do it on my tablet. I haven't forgotten about Linux at all. I'm not going to abandon Linux, but I'm going to integrate my learning experience all in one space. You know, I tried to do it here. It doesn't have the capacity. Think about it. It's a CM4 chip with maybe 4 gigs of RAM. This tablet has 16 gigs of RAM. I can't even tell you, it's limited to the amount of space on the actual hard drive itself. So this card might have been, the SD card might have been 64 gigabits. Well, this is 256 gigs solid state. I think it has 2 cores in it, but it's the Mark II. But more of the story is $299 from eBay. And I'm connected to my ICOM 705 wirelessly. We're going to run some Winlink together because I think you guys are awesome. Let's see if we can get some emails downrange. So what I'll do is I'll just close off Winlink and restart it now that the virtual COM port has been reestablished. So let me see. Let me close. I was downloading some of the, because this is looking like my first time using this tablet, but you know, I'm happy. It doesn't get any better than this. When I'm out doing soda and this is coming out of my chest plate and I'm popping it open and I'm ready to do some JSA call and I'm sipping on some tea or some coffee or whatever the case may be, I'm going to be doing it from this. The tech prepper is very adamant about these, and I understand. Yeah, Robert, let me tell you, this tablet, I'm going to be running Dragon OS through VirtualBox. I'm going to be running Kali Linux. I'm going to be running SDR Angel. I'm going to be connecting it to my Flipper Zero. I'm going to be doing all of the digital modes that any man can think about from right here. This is the best way to do it. Start sending some Winlink messages, guys. I'm connected. I'm online. I got the 705 set up. I'm about to open up a VARA session right now. Let's do Winlink and let's do Winlink. Oh. So it's launching the VR. There we go. I found a good RMS. Let's do both, man. Let's have fun. I follow TTP also. Yeah, the tech prepper Gaston is a great guy, man. I really enjoy him, and I want to pay homage to not only him, but I want to pay homage to Julian, the devil dog out there in Scandinavia. The reality of the situation is he's been using the IC705, like my buddy W4 UYE Sarge says. He's been using it the way the Japanese engineers intended it to be used, wirelessly. You should never use a wire when you're using that particular radio. Number two, WFU works, but it doesn't work better than the Icon remote utility. It doesn't. That thing works flawlessly. Let's see. I'm talking to you guys right now. Let's go ahead and start this session. See if the 705 starts to crank it up. There we go. Make sure I got this, because you always gotta check your sound card. Boom, boom, okay, bet. But this is it. It doesn't get any better than this. Icon remote utility, Panasonic FZM1, wireless communication with your tablet. This is lightweight. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm going to run. I have another Panasonic tablet because I want to have something a little bit bigger when I'm at the base, but when I'm at the house. But as you can see, I'm running that tablet right there. But you know, there's another cool thing about this thing, that it's the gift that keeps on giving. It has a pin. It's very sensitive to the pin. I can't get enough of this. I love it. I use the pen, and I'm done. Hey, thanks, Robert. Tonight, you know, this video is live, and I want you guys to talk and interact more because it helps me. It helps me because I'm kind of like I'm all over the place. But I've been working, and some of you guys can see on Twitter and maybe even my Instagram that I have been beating my brain into coming up with a solution to make my RF computing solution a lot smaller, decrease the footprint, because I had the 10-inch G-Tech FT10, and it was great, but come on, man, I can just keep showing you guys this picture. Let's see what's happening with my Winlink over here. So let's start the session. All right, we're making a call right now. All right, I only got 5 lights going out right now. Let's see what we can get there. I'm connected. Connected. Oh, now, but so whatever the case may be, guys, this is my solution. I've been wanting to share this with you guys for some time. I've been wanting to talk to you guys about this for some time. What is the tablet? Okay, the tablet is the Panasonic FZM1, and I also, for my own personal use, I am using the Panasonic FZG1. That's just for the shack, just for my backpack, just for my everyday carry. That makes sense? All right, cool. Another thing that I've learned about using Windows, how Windows is just far more reliable for amateur radio. I think when I was setting up all of the digital modes for my systems, it might have taken me 20 minutes to go to SourceForge and download every application, WSJTX, a JSA call, Slow Scan TV, Winlink Express, FL Rig, FL Digi. I went to the various websites, Vara AC, and I went to the various websites. I went into the downloads folder, hit the .exe, installed it, boom, it's up and running. It would have taken me 30 days with my Raspberry Pis to do the same thing. And I'm not a slouch when it comes to Linux. I'm not completely terrible. And as I'm talking to you guys now, I'm setting up WSJTX now. Okay, hit okay. And that was it. So, long story short, we're not going to make this live be that much longer. I was all over the place with it, but I had these thoughts that I wanted to get them out. Is that at the end of the day, Windows 10 is king for ham radio. Tough pads are king for ham radio, especially portable, outdoors, and ruggedness and longevity. I don't recommend a Surface Go only because it's a very fragile device. It's small, but it's fragile. My Surface Go is now a desktop with a cracked screen connected to a monitor. And this is the final solution. Now, here's the deal. Here's the awesome thing about it. You can get these Panasonic tablets on eBay for $250, $145. It just depends on what you want. I wanted the higher RAM and the bigger hard drive size, but I could have got one for $150 or $200. Well, John, I don't know. I would go Windows. I would just go Windows. Because the options are limited. Like, their days, I remember one time I was on Tree Mountain, I think it was Tree Mountain, and on one side of my radio on the USB, I had FM filter, and I was pulling in no weather images. And then on the other side of my radio on another USB, going to my 6100, I was transmitting those images. I was transmitting those images from one PC, one Toughbook. And the thing I loved about my GTAC, well, I like the FZM1 because of the size. I wear chest carrier when I'm out and about. And so when the time comes and I'm ready to do digital modes, I'm literally going to just get me a Cliff Bar, a cup of coffee, and I'm going to start running digital modes while my 6100 or my 705 is sitting somewhere, That's the idea. Comfort. Ease of use. So my GTAC was a 10-inch. This is a 7-inch. To me, the GTAC and the Panasonic are literally the same computer or the same hardware. They just put them in different packages. I don't see any difference because I have the 10-inch Panasonic also. I can tell you that much. So I can't say that I like them better. If the GTAC came in the 7-inch, I would have got the GTAC in the 7-inch. As I just found that the FZM ones were more accessible. I was exposed to them more by the tech prepper, and I haven't found any literature information about any 8 to 7-inch GTAC devices. But to reiterate, to me, they are the same device. I swear to you, I worked in plants before. It's almost as if the hardware took a left and one took a right, and they got stamped and they charged each other. So they're no different. But whether I've been doing ham radio on a beach, whether I've been doing ham radio like on the beach in Orlando, in North Carolina, I've been doing it on a river, I've been in a park, I've been in the snow, I've been in the, making fires and doing soda, the GTAC never failed me once because it's a tough pad. If I have it in my gym bag, if I have it in my everyday carry backpack, I've never had any problems. I don't care about it getting scratched. I don't care about anything. It just works. So that's something else to consider too. It's audio. All right, radio. Test kit. That's something to consider too. you know. Yeah, I mean, Windows 11. I mean, I just find that Windows 10 with these refurbished tablets, these refurbished eBay tough books that are typically like $2,500, $2,600, it's a no-brainer. But it's a must-have. I wouldn't recommend anything else for operating portable than these types of equipment. If you're a type, the pen works fine. Your fingers work excellently with these, but it comes with the pen. It also comes with a holding pad if that's what you like. I took it off because I'm trying to minimize size and bulkiness, because as you can see, I've added devices to it. Look at my GPS ticking away. Yeah, that's for time, when I'm out in the field, because I don't think the FZM itself has I don't think it has a GPS built into it like the bigger 10-inch tablets, like the bigger one that I have over here. Yep. Yeah, so I've done it all the last few years. I've done it with crazy sound cards. I've tried cyber decks. I've tried everything, but nothing has worked for me better than nothing has worked for me better than using this equipment. Let me see if anybody else got any questions. Yeah, so, all right, well, that's all I got to say, man. Don't make the mistakes that I made. A wise guy once told me, you buy once, you cry once. So I'm just trying to save you guys a lot of heartache. I've been through it all. I've experimented with it all. I've tried it all. And people have come before me and they've said the same thing, that the Raspberry Pi just isn't made for rigorous use, whether it be in the shack or outdoors. The fancy cyber decks, now the Clockwork Pi was a fail for ham radio for me. Microsoft Surface Go was a fail for ham radio for me. The only thing that's worked is the G-Tech FT110 and hopefully this right here. And if you're going to do it, get the Icon software or get good at using WFU. I like the Icon software a lot better because I don't have to go back in and change settings if I want to do something differently. Nah, the RSBA1 remote control and the dang on Icon remote utility, buy it. Get your 705. That's the best radio that we have right now. I don't know what else is going to be happening in the future, but if we can get the 6100 to work, fine. I haven't experimented yet with getting the 6100 because I know there's some new firmware. I will eventually, now that I have a platform that I'm completely satisfied with. So I'm good. So guys, don't make my mistake. Just go ahead and get you a dang on FZM1 if you can see. Yeah, and I'm always in the North Georgia mountains, and this is from my experience. If you can see, if this is good enough for your eyes, fine. If it isn't, then maybe you can be the type of person, you can come back with the bigger model, you can get the FZM-G1. The thing about me is I've done this as far as taking this to the field. I think the Raspberry has used APR Digipeda standby. But the thing of, yeah, exactly. I think the Raspberry Pis are to promote people learning Linux. They're good for running APRS iGates and Digipedas in the shack. They're good for doing direwolf. They're good for a lot. Great. I'm never going to turn my back on Linux because the truth of the matter is, whatever I build on this smaller tablet, I'm doing two things. Linux is still my daily driver. I still love learning Linux. I still love exploring and trying to get better at Linux. However, I couldn't rely on it. If I go to Aries club meeting next week, do I want to be on Aries with a potential point of failure because I was using Linux that constantly fails on me? So that's something for me to consider also. And once again, you know, I can still enjoy Linux. I can do the ham radio work with Windows, and I have the capacity, the hardware, the capability, the like I said, the accoutrement, the pins. I can drop it. It can rain on it. It can get snow on it. The only thing I recommend you do is pair one of these with a dang on TX500. You know, and I can tell you this. I'm definitely thinking about getting that TX500 MP. I know I've complained about the TX500 in the past, but if you pair the uh, if you pair the TX500 with one of these, don't you think you're unstoppable? You know, if the TX500 man pack comes out and it's going to be pretty interesting, you know, so I'm saving up right now. I'm going to wait. I was going to get another TX500 to pair with this machine, but I'm thinking about waiting for the man pack so I can have a battery and a tuner. And if there's some type of significant digital interface, I doubt if it'll be wireless, but I don't mind running a USB cable to here into a digi-rig or whatever the case may be. This and the TX500 is my next setup. Right now, I'm in love with the 705 and this Windows machine. But the TX500 man pack, if it ever comes out, that's going to be my my high-speed, low-drag, MCOM, portable, SOTA, radio, and computer. So, guys, get you an FZM1, or get you an FZG1, or get you a dang on GTAC. Don't get nothing else. That's all I'm gonna tell you. That was been my experience. Don't waste your money. If you can afford them new, fine. I think that's very expensive. But if you go on eBay and find them refurbished, you can go to Hamfest and find these tough books refurbished. You can go to your local flea market and find these devices refurbished. So 73 guys, I'm gonna go ahead and keep playing around and configuring. I've been cleaning up in the shack all day, and I'm gonna get this bad boy back fired up again so I can do some Winlink from the palm of my hand, connected to my IC705. And I may end up doing some software-defined radio stuff tonight. So let's see, we're going into SDR sharp. Oop. Oh, you gotta love. Look how fast that is. You can never do that. You can never do that with a, see what we got here. You can never do that with, what do you call that? With a Raspberry Pi. At least that fast. You know what I'm saying? So, we just having fun, man. You know, that's all I can really tell you. Let's get that bad boy back in there, but let me see. All right, man. Good night, guys. Good talking to you. 73. Hey, KG, I mean, this is like a hard case all in one. Kilo 4, Kilo Hotel Oscar. Kilo 4, Kilo Hotel Oscar. That's the call sign. Yeah. Open it up and see what we got here. Yeah, so I'll be doing Winlink for the rest of the night, sitting on the couch with my tablet in my hand. So you guys have a good one, man. If you got any questions, man, hit me up, k4kho.ga at Gmail, or you can hit me up, k4.kho@winlink.org. You can follow me on Twitter, Metro Atlanta Ham. And, man, just keep having fun. Kilo 4, Kilo Hotel Oscar. Kilo 4, Kilo Hotel Oscar. Yeah, build your stuff out, man. I've been in the shack all day. Just downloading images, doing Linux stuff, doing ham radio stuff, getting slow scan TV set up, getting my device set up, because I was going to go on a, that's it. I was going to go on a summit activation today, but I knew I had to clean my shack up. It's going to be like a 2-day shack cleaning deal. But before I go, to the field, I want to make sure everything is working. So that's going to be real big. And I love the fact that you can even type on these bad boys, man. It's like they're very sensitive. Pen, type, and I think Julian's even found a way to write messages with the pen like real time so he can communicate through digital modes. That guy was ahead of his time, man. I can tell you that much. COM ports. USB serial device port. Number 10. All right, man. Good night, guys. All right.